Welcome to the B2B Breakthrough Podcast. I'm your host, Ciara Cristo.
We were pretty careful with the shopping around just because we didn't want to put our idea out there to just anyone across the world who had the capabilities we thought of creating it. And they would basically just have like, oh, here you go. And so we actually ended up getting a sourcing agent, and so with that extra layer of trust, with that being our first time and this also being a custom product. And so we had the sourcing agent, and she was able to narrow down to a couple factories for us and tour them with us, like on FaceTime or on Google Meet. And we were able to talk to the factory owners and kind of walk through what we wanted the relationship to look like, what would work on both ends, timelines, their capacity, and for us, what was really important in the beginning was having someone we could trust. They felt like they could trust us, um, would have good MOQs, would have good turnaround time, would be able to handle the process of forwarding the goods for us, and then also wasn't a huge factory, like would value our business from the beginning, but also have the capacity to grow with us as our demand grew if needed. And so, with all of those factors, we landed on the manufacturer that we still have today. And they've been able to thankfully like grow with us, give us like some great lead times in terms of, when you ship from across the world, it can take 30 to 45 days to hit the West Coast of the US, and then, take another 2 to 3 weeks to, depending on where your 3PL or your warehouse is, like get to that point. And so those are all things we have to consider with our cash flow being bootstrapped. And
Yeah.
so the manufacturing process for us is a big part of our operations and logistics in terms of like timing everything with cash flow, timing everything for the customers, maintaining that relationship if there are any hiccups with either of those aspects, kind of figuring out how we're going to work through that with obviously somewhat of a language barrier, cultural barrier, and also factoring in like their holidays and when they won't, like their factory is shut down, or what's going on in the world politically, economically, what that looks like I said, with the tariffs recently, like sometimes things were on a standstill. Like, can we afford this amount in shipping at this point? Do they need to hold goods for, and just having that bond or that trust that we built over the 2 years before those things started to arise was super helpful in navigating like the past 6 months of, some turbulence or things that were a bit unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that you have to factor into it, creating a product, especially when you're initially launching. So to have that trusted support to figure out how to triage your time and to really evaluate your options, that's huge. Are you using or have did your sourcing agent use Alibaba.com at all in the process?
So we have our main manufacturer for Berkeley, but we also have other accessories on the website that build our bundles. And we definitely used Alibaba to build out some of the accessories for our bundles. And so that was a pretty seamless process. My husband has used Alibaba in the past plenty of times with other like entrepreneurial ventures and efforts. And so we're very familiar with the platform at the time. And it's a really seamless process. Like, we had multiple manufacturers we reached out to that had what we were looking for, and we were able to like kind of hop on a call with them like, hey, is this something you'd be able to do? What's your turnaround time? All of these things. And it's been a really seamless process. And the manufacturers that we work with for those accessories for our bundles are super pivotal because our bundles help to increase our average order value, which is a big deal for our company. And so if we run into a snag with those bundles, like having the inventory for that, that's a really big deal for our business. Like, it can be the difference between, a profitable day and a day in the red. And so we take those relationships very seriously, and we stay on top of it. And even if, we have lulls in ordering because, we'll order a large quantity, get it, and, we're moving, and like I said, we're a bootstrapped business, so it's not always a continual order, but we'll keep up with those relationships and just check in like, "Hey, in the next 90 days, we're looking to place an order like this. Like, are you guys still on the same page? Like, do you have the capacity with the holidays coming up?" Like, all of those things are happening in real time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we haven't had any issues. It's been a great experience as always. Like, we weren't surprised by that. And it was like the first thought to go to. So it's been good.